Your two dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick. The Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us. Tomorrow's news today. Tomorrow, yeah.
This is the one with no title. Welcome back, everybody. I'm JJ. That's Deacon, and we are your two dads. We're here Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning to drink coffee, to talk news, and other bullshit. Good morning. Hey, that's after 30 seconds. I think I just escaped the curse filter on YouTube. Maybe not. All right. Good morning, Deke. How are you doing? I had to take my wife's car. Well, I had to take my wife to take her car to go get an alignment changed or something. I don't know, some car stuff. Who knows?
Alignment?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Alignment. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. You need to you need to get an alignment for your wheels. You need to when you get your wheels rotated, you need to probably align them at the same time because cars do that. If you're wearing on one side or one tire or something like that, it's a good idea. Ashley last night, it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. And she said, she was going to pick up Alex. And then she messaged me, or she called me from the driveway. My car won't start. I think her starter went out.
Didn't this happen like 5 months ago? Like,
no, it was something else. She's got an older car, so we're constantly tinkering.
My wife's car is 2012. My wife's car is from 2012, and she has 220,000 miles on it.
Yeah, Ashley's is a 07 Matrix, 05 Matrix, something like that. She absolutely loves it. She don't want to get rid of it. I mean, let's get it. She don't,
keep swapping parts out.
It doesn't look the greatest car in the world, but it gets us to where we're going right now in these freaking times, and we don't have a $400 car payment.
Right. Not having a car payment is it's one of the best things in your life. Not having.
And you know what? And this is a lesson that a friend of mine taught me when I was like 15 years old. Okay. When I was a junior or a sophomore in high school, the senior of the drum line, our section leader, used to pick me up, and I didn't have to ride the school bus. I had the senior, guy picking me up, and he was cool. And he had this crappy car, this little Escort. All right. It was a crappy Escort. And he drove it all the time. Everybody knew that was Josh's car. And Josh told me one day, he said, and all the girls loved Josh too. And Josh told me one day, he said, man, at least I know these girls that go out with me aren't going out with me just for my car, man. And I was like, that's right. That's right. So I've kind of kept that. I've kind of kept that same mentality. I was like, if you're going to judge me by the car that I drive, then I probably wouldn't be friends.
The boy with what do you call him? I can't think of a crummy car is still more attractive than the boy that ain't got a car at all. You know what I mean? As far as if a girl wants a free ride to go places.
All right. So welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, drink your coffee. Hey, this is going to be the best Tuesday ever. We got a hard out at 9 o'clock because I got a conference call, but we got some news to talk about.
I've got some AI news. I got a piece of AI news I think you're going to be interested in.
AI news. We got some aviation news. I know you guys love thinking about getting on airplanes and just like traveling. You just sit back in your chair and imagine you climb over. You got your family and you climb aboard a plane and you lift into the clouds. Destination unknown. Maybe you're going to a beach. Maybe you're going to an island resort,
right? Somewhere.
And you just have this dreamy experience of floating through the clouds, and most of the plane stays together till you get there. So we got some
love.
This is being optimistic. That's all. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's in the. There's not really a lot of politics going on. Donald Trump's. I think his trial starts today. For I don't know, one of his trials.
Another one.
Yeah,
okay.
and the judge there is like, you have to be here every single day for the trial, and you can't talk about anything to anybody. And it's
we'll
so
see how far that goes.
Well, it's some BS. Why does he have to be there every day? It's not like you guys are going to be more honest if he's there. It's ridiculous.
Because that judge wants to get reelected next year.
No, he wants to keep Trump from from campaigning. That's what all of this is about. If you're sitting here, if you got your,
stop. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm trying to think of this on a logical scale.
Oh, okay,
he wants
sure.
to stop Trump from campaigning. No, that's just some bullshit that they've gave us as an excuse. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. Okay, because does Trump need to campaign? This is the first year. I had someone else point this out to me, and I hadn't noticed it. And when they pointed it out to me, I was like, it was like a Godsmack across my face. I was like, oh my God, I haven't even seen that yet. I've worked in radio for 30 years. Okay. This is the very first year I have seen since I have been working in radio that it is now April the 16th. Our election is in November, and not one advertising commercial has been seen. Not one from either side. And this person was speculating on a negative outlook on the Democratic side. The reason that they, it was a far-fetched kind of, this is why they're not doing it. But it pointed out to me that I was like, you're exactly right. I haven't seen or even seen on like YouTube and stuff any kind of advertisement, and it's freaking April of an election year.
That's true. Now, there's a couple of reasons. One is that we're already done with the primary election. Like the primaries are done. Like all the other candidates dropped out.
They still spend money.
They do.
You still see those ads. You still see it.
But you have, okay, so a couple of important ideas here. One, despite the fact that I am here and I drag you into this like every single day talking about politics and national politics.
I want to talk about cool stuff.
I know. Despite the fact that I'm here talking to you about politics every single day, average Americans, and you're not average, even you are not average.
I know.
Average Americans pay zero attention to any of this until 14 days before the actual election.
Yeah,
like your ROI on spending dollars right now is like it would be absolutely pointless.
But they have a certain amount of money that they have to spend and is allocated for advertisements and stuff that they have to put on the books. That this was allocated for this because we got this money donated to us, and that donated money it has rules that the money has to go through, and and the advertising budget is nil.
Well, yes, but any money donated to a campaign funds that are not exhausted by the end of the campaign, they can be rolled over into a war chest for future elections. So and on top of that, Donald Trump's resources are taxed, and I don't mean like tax dollars, but like they are putting him through this incredible four simultaneous trial.
That's a good
so
point.
Like he can't just be burning
that's
money.
Not really okay. Yeah, that's
yeah.
But it's just it was very odd that you don't see any.
David says good morning, and David, I had to tell you this. I'm watching your video. But I have to stop it because I got little ears, and you start with this 5-letter word at the beginning of your little video, and I'm like, my kids are not hearing this word. I'm not putting some explanation or context into this, so I had to pause it until So I'm halfway through it.
I don't know even. I watched.
He sent it. You don't know? Okay,
well, I don't know that.
I'm a little more sensitive about that anyway. I'm working on it, sir. Okay. So on this topic of it has to do with a group recreational activity that his parents took place in.
Not his parents. Yeah. It was okay. Yes. All right. So that's a good point.
Not his parents. I don't want to.
You don't need to listen to it. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to blow you up, David. Badminton. I'm talking about badminton. Breaking. Trump blasts Judge Merchan for refusing to allow him to attend his son's graduation at the risk of jail. So this judge in this case, this trial starting, he's not even he's saying you have to be here every single day. And Trump's youngest son, I believe his name. What is his son's name? I want to say it's like. His son graduated from high school. Donald Trump's son graduated from high school. And it looks like the judge will not let me go to my graduation, who has worked very hard. He's a great student, very proud of the fact that he did well. And he's looking forward to for years to have a graduation with his mother and his father there. And anyway, so the judge is a jerk. So, okay.
We'll see how long that lasts, really. We'll see if that really lasts.
All of these judges in these cases are just reaching too far, and they're just going to get overturned. But they don't care. They don't care if they get overturned. They care about taking the momentum out right now. That's all they care about.
They don't understand that they're fixing to freaking lose their jobs. Every one of them,
man. Dude, I saw this yesterday in my local news. I don't really have too many national political stories, but I saw it. Get your thoughts on this story. So let me pull this up. This is in Houston. I live around about Houston. A fake cop was fully equipped to deceive and was arrested in Houston after pulling over undercover deputies, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. So this dude, I don't know if he was out to do something predatory or if he was.
Well, okay, wait a minute. If you have gone to the trouble of dressing up like a cop to the point that you're pulling over people, then there is no speculation that what you're doing is predatory. That is underlined at that point, in my opinion. What you are doing is predatory. This is what he knows full well. What he is doing is absolutely wrong.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He knows what he's doing is wrong. But, like it being as generous as you can with something that on its face looks really, really bad. Like most generous would be like, oh, this is a guy doing a prank for thrills or whatever. But that is dumb. So like this guy, was he looking for somebody to
I would highly recommend
hustle?
If you ever got pulled over by a car that you did not believe to be a cop, I would call 911 immediately and explain to them the situation that is going on. And 911 dispatch will be able to tell you if that is a real police officer that is trying to pull you over. You're not going to get it might piss off that particular officer if he has a negative disposition, and you might, but I
didn't think that was gonna. I thought we could see more photos or whatever. Look, he has a tactical vest.
That's kind of concerning, especially with all of the immigrants that's come over into this country, that they could this disguising as law enforcement officers. And this is guys, obviously, he doesn't look like an immigrant, of the
right.
I mean, like a freaking immigrant, but
you're right about if you get pulled over. Look, they don't just hop right out of the car. They pull you over and then they check your plates real quick and they see if your vehicle's on a description list or whatever they describe. So you got a minute. You got just a minute there to get your phone hooked up and call 911.
I wouldn't recommend moving around in the damn car once you got started. Once you pulled over, I was always told to put your hands on the steering wheel at the top of the steering wheel and shut off the car. That lets the officer know that you're not going to try to speed away, and he can see your hands at all times. And then when you say my stuff's over here in the glove compartment, let me grab it. If you've got a weapon, I've got a weapon underneath the seat.
Barron. Thank you, David. I'm sorry. I was thinking his name was Honor or something like that. It's Barron. Yeah, Trump's kid's name's Barron. He's tall, too. Kid is tall and lanky. And you know what? He should be able to have his parents show up at the high school. And you know what? I would bet you. Oh, I just want to bring this down. I would bet so much money that if Donald Trump showed up to Barron's graduation, like the entire auditorium would be cheering. All the parents of the other students would be like, there's Trump. Yeah. Have you seen him when he goes into like a UFC arena? Like they go wild. And that would be it. So Barron ought to be able to have his dad show up to his graduation. All right. So that's scary. Fake cops in big cities. So,
Locally
let's
in
see.
these small towns, we usually know all the cops,
Right?
the numbers and who it is, and
See, you should if you get pulled over, you should do it anyway, even though you recognize him.
What?
If you get pulled over and the cop walks up to your window, I'm on the phone with 911. Are you? And I'm checking to see if you're a real officer. Just bust his balls a little bit.
No, in the small town kind of stuff, that there's repercussions on that because everybody knows everybody, and
Yeah.
you just there's no reason to be a dick anymore. I used to be a dick, and it still comes out sometimes. But
I'm telling you to do stuff. Oh, I have a story. I have a story. No, I'm telling you to do something I wouldn't do. But there's this one time. This is one time I was driving to work, and the way Houston is you got big highways crisscrossing through town, and the posted mileage is like 65 miles an hour. So I and everybody else 85 miles an hour. That's what we do. And there was this cop. I was in the far left-hand lane. This cop was in the right-hand lane, and he drove past me faster than me, and he leaned out his window, and he was doing this, like his hand out his window, doing this. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I just kept rolling. And about 3, 4, 5 minutes later, he gets behind me, pulls me over. He's like, what did you think I was doing? And I accidentally did exactly the wrong thing. I was like, I don't know what you were doing. I have no idea. I was doing this. I was telling you to slow down. I was like, I didn't understand that. And I just did not admit that I did anything wrong. And I was like, I didn't understand. I couldn't understand what you were saying. If you say you understood and didn't comply, you're getting a ticket, dummy. But if you're just like, it wasn't clear to me, that's not like a thing that we do is just wave out the window. That's not, I didn't understand.
It posted speed 65. All the traffic's going 85. He's tired of putting up with it. It's going to cause a damn accident.
Sure. Yeah, maybe.
Reason. And he's trying to get everybody. He can't pull over everybody.
Yeah,
so he's
but you don't get to just
sounds like something. Everybody, please slow down. Good God.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Like, anyway. So I ended up getting like a warning, and then no ticket because he couldn't give me a ticket because he couldn't say that I knew I was supposed to slow down and didn't. So anyway. Don't talk to police.
Be nice.
All right.
Police are fine.
There's and also don't speed.
In everything.
Yeah.
There's bad apples in everything, and police are fine.
For sure.
I wanted to be a police officer at one point in my life until I was in an accident and decided, holy crap, I don't want to do this. I want to sit on my ass and talk into a microphone all day long. So I don't envy what they do, but are there some terrible police officers? Absolutely, man. There's some pieces of crap.
Yeah, I know you got like a badge. But whole issue over there.
Yeah, but there are people out there that want to do good and do that badge to do good. So and the bad makes the one bad apple will spoil the whole bunch.
I hope that you only encounter good police officers.
I do too.
But your assumption should not be that the one that pulled you over is the good guy.
Well, that's
should be. That's
right,
what
I got one. I got a political story.
I assume everybody's back.
JJ, you're gonna like this
okay,
one.
All right,
I think
good.
You might like this guy if it comes up. There we go. All right. Tim Kaine. He is out of Virginia, and he's a senator. And he basically said that if you raise hell at a school board meeting, you are no better than the January 6th rioters, and you are negative name complaining name calling pessimists working to tear us down and tear us apart. If you complain and raise hell at a school board meeting. So I'm not going to read what this drivel is from this slobbering idiot here that has no flipping clue what's going on in life.
I think he's right. You absolutely should just do whatever the school district tells you to do. Whatever your local government and teachers unions has told you the right thing to do with your kids. That's what you should just shut up and listen.
And comply.
Don't you think so?
Shut
up and comply. Do what you're told. Oh, he's a Democrat. Gee, you left that part out. I thought he was an evil Republican telling people to do what they're told, but no, it's a Democrat.
You see, at a school
sucks.
board meetings, when people come and raise hell at these school board members who are just trying to do the very best they can, there is a loud
Right.
energy around tear us down and tear us apart. He went on to describe former President Donald Trump as the greatest tear down artist in the history of American politics.
These people are, dude. These people
Notice
have. I honestly think they do not have functioning
Notice
brains.
that
They're
that they don't
dishonest.
have a picture of the crowd because he's probably talking to 7 people.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So
I mean, these people, dude. They're like Trump is. They literally think Trump is Hitler. They are retards. They're retards.
well, they've been brainwashed. They're
Democratic
very easily
retards.
brainwashed, JJ.
I know, man.
Very easily brainwashed. And we used to be very easily brainwashed. We bought in. I drink the Kool-Aid. I like strawberry. I like orange. You know, I drank it. But at some point,
Sugar-free
but
Kool-Aid,
I
that's
was
for me.
always the kid that pissed off everybody because I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I was that annoying little brat that everybody always, let me tell you what everybody always ended up saying to me. I don't know, look it up. I don't know, look it up. So I just got to the point to where I just didn't ask and I just started looking it up because nobody knew. You know, it's the same. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
I don't even believe this guy believes what he's saying. I think he's just saying that to get into alignment with the people that show up to a Democratic rally.
Yeah, let's move on.
I think
You've got a bunch of other stories that I don't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, we got some.
Talk about the Boeing thing, and then we'll get into the
We got some
stuff.
plane news. Let's go. We got a couple of these. Let's see which one. We recently talked about a Boeing whistleblower. You know, we had the guy that did the camera footage inside of the plant in like South Carolina or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's been, and then we've had I think there was a story that did once where I think the CEO of Boeing is super into doing like drag shows, and I don't think you saw that one. You were elsewhere. Boeing purged its veteran leaders and outsourced the Dreamliner development to boost stock prices and bust unions, according to a report. A report in the American Prospectus shed some light on the concerning behavior with Boeing, including instances of corporate culture prioritizing profit over safety and the tragic consequences that ensued.
I'm already bored. Tell me what's going on. I'm already bored.
A major corporation prioritizing profits over safety.
Right.
That sounds crazy. One of these outsourcing debacles involved a supplier that had subcontracted a part for the 787 fuselage design to an Israeli firm that botched the job, leading to some financial difficulties. So so what happens when you have an aviation company and you're like, you know what? You people that have been here a long time and know what you're doing, you guys are expensive. We're just going to replace you guys with cheaper people, and we're going to fire veterans. Does that seem like a good idea for making airplanes? To just, get some fresh blood, some new ideas. Do planes need wings? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try some.
Why is this surprising to you?
Let's try it. Let's try some planes without wings. Do they need all
companies
the hull
prioritizing
to be sealed
profits
up?
over safety and quality surprising to you? This is a 30+ year thing that they've been doing.
But I mean, because it's like
30,
it's like a
130.
cartoonish plot. It's literally like the plot of Fallout, and it's so silly. It's like people don't actually behave like this, but they do actually behave like this.
We live.
I mean, that's entirely what Fallout is
live
about.
in a little bubble. Okay, you live in your little bubble.
Yeah,
and you don't. You watch movies and are like, "Ooh, that's crazy how that can happen." Because you live in your little fantasy bubble and you don't think that it can happen in your little fantasy bubble. I go to work, I come home, I'm going to work on the garden. I'm going to take the rocks that I pulled up yesterday and go put on the fire pit out back tonight. I've got my own little thing. I got the log in my yard that I need to cut up and get an old chainsaw. a lot of stuff, but we live in our little bubble and we don't think anything like that happens. But in the real world, all that crap is really happening. And we're like these, oh, that stuff can't happen. Like my coworker that said that one day, oh, the United States wouldn't do that.
I
The
know.
United States wouldn't do that to their own
I know, but
people. We're good.
look,
We're nice.
I watched
people.
RoboCop when I was 10. Okay. So I saw the story of OCP and I was like, well, that's a fun story, but like they don't really do stuff like that. And we have Boeing right now, like actually doing stuff exactly like OCP. like, did you think that RoboCop was a prophetic vision
They're all
of the
prophetic
future?
visions of the future.
Do you know that you owe RoboCop to Frank Miller?
I drew a life-size picture of RoboCop with pencil from the poster as a project in my SUMA class, in my gifted class when I was in 4th grade.
Oh,
I wish I still had it. It was on a huge sheet of paper. I remember having to lay on the floor on this board and draw while it was the first time I had ever done anything like that. It was cool.
They were trying to keep you busy. And that's a gifted.
Yeah.
You know, I read somewhere that the gifted program and the remedial program are the same thing.
You know what? I would almost believe that as someone who went through the gifted program for like 7 or 8 freaking years.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was just telling somebody about this the other day that was in the class with me. Our teacher, Miss Bogus, I was one of those freaking kids, you can just imagine. And what she would do to get me to stay busy is I had to, the tiles on the ceiling has all these little random pokes in there, little dots and whatnot. She would make me count make me count them. Or count the she would look over to the bookcase. I'm not lying. She would look over to the bookcase and she'd have all these books and she'd be like, count the spirals on the books. So and that would keep me busy for like 45 minutes. And you wonder what's wrong with me today.
It's literally just trying to keep you.
I want to look that up though. That's very funny.
Because you're bored. The bored kids distract all the other kids. So you got 80% in the middle that are normal kids, and you got 10% that are a little slow. You got 10% that are a little ahead, and the two percentages at the ends they get bored for different reasons. But they just get bored.
True.
So you take the bored kids and go stick them in a different room.
True, because we did Beowulf in 3rd grade. We read it and acted the play out. We did robotics.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
That's great.
So
I love that.
I don't know where I heard that.
That's wonderful.
Let's see. NASA. So not just Boeing. We got NASA here. So NASA, they sent they build contraptions, rockets and robots and rovers and all kinds. It's helicopters and who knows what. And they love to send stuff to another planet where they can't do anything with it after a certain time of day. So a while back they sent. I don't think you know
how solar energy works, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I know how radio waves work, and when the planet's facing the other direction, you can't do anything with it.
It's got its own stuff that keeps it going when we're not in contact with it.
Sure.
You know that, right?
Oh my God, dude. We need to pack up some AI. AI robots.
In Arizona.
All of them.
Jesus, they got 5G out there. It's not like it's on Mars.
We need to make
It's in New Mexico.
We need a redundant program here. We need to send some drones to Mars. We're gonna put some AI in controllers that are watching the drones, but we should have multiple AI that are kind of competing with each other to make sure that we get the most out of our bang for our buck. So we put 2 or 3 kind of like overseer AIs, and we make them fight each other for control of the resources on Mars. To I don't know what they're hunting, dirt and rocks and stuff.
Mars used to have water.
That's where we should send AI.
You know that, right? Mars has water in the ice caps. It has trapped water. Mars used to have water.
And then
they believe the atmosphere on Mars was similar to Earth, but a lot less Earth. So you could think of like Earth has like 5 layers, Mars had like 1 layer, and a huge solar event destroyed their atmosphere, that one layer. And over time, this
So-
is what has happened, that Mars used to be very similar to Earth.
Inside of the Earth, right? Inside of the Earth, we have a
And
spinning
that magnet
iron
in
copper
Mars
core,
stopped.
and that creates a and the core of Mars stopped spinning, and so it stopped producing a magnetic wave. And then when it was gone, the sun, which is, I don't know if you know this, Deacon, it causes climate change. It just blows out this solar wind
That's
and
a fictional
radiation
thing.
constantly.
That
It's
doesn't
just
happen.
like that's what the sun is doing all the time. The magic shield of Mars stopped working, and then all of the atmosphere and a lot of the water just went and got blown out into space. It's gone. You're not getting that water back.
This
You're
is-
not getting that
this is
atmosphere
Science
back.
Time
It's
with
gone.
Professor JJ.
I mean, look, my story is just as convincing as. Anyway, NASA is out there seeking a faster, cheaper way to bring Mars samples to Earth. So, let's see. I had picked one of these out. Maybe the AP News. We'll do AP News. They're trustworthy. So a while back, we sent like rovers and robots and stuff up there, and they're up there doing sample collection. They're just picking at rocks and scooping up dirt and all kinds of stuff, but we can't do anything with it when it's on Mars. So we need to bring it back here. We sent robots to Mars without a really good plan of how to get that stuff back to Earth. So NASA is like, you know what we should do? We should have a plan to get that stuff back here, since we already have our robots up there. NASA's plan to bring samples from Mars back to Earth is on hold until there's a faster, cheaper space agency, faster, cheaper way, space agency officials said. So they're saying, like, we're not even going to try to bring it back because the way that we have right now, it's not a good idea. Retrieving Mars soil and rocks has been on NASA's to-do list for decades, but the date keeps moving forward, and the costs are getting more expensive and more expensive. A recent independent review put the total cost of $8 billion to $11 billion with an arrival date of 2040, about a decade later than they want. Deacon, would you like to pay your share of $8 billion for some Martian rocks?
Does it really matter what my answer is?
That money's going to get taken from you either way.
I don't see how hard it is to bring back rocks from New Mexico. I mean, I can get a U-Haul.
Dude, somebody's getting paid. Yeah, it's gonna the 8 billion. You know what? We can do it for $6 billion, and it could bring like a whole truck of Martian rocks.
$50K, and I'll get you a red rock and
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said it's too much and too late. He's asking private industry and space agency centers to come up with other options to revamp the project. With NASA facing across-the-board budget cuts, he wants to avoid gutting other science projects to finance the Mars sample project. So NASA's like, this is too expensive. Maybe SpaceX can do it for us. Can you guys go up there and get our rocks and bring them back? That's what he wants to do.
You really need to be. They need to be looking at the one of the Mars moons. What's its name? Phobos.
I heard that episode too. What was it about Phobos? Oh, it's potato shaped, right?
Weird orbit.
It's potato shaped.
I've always heard that about Phobos, that it had a weird orbit, but I didn't know about the monolith on that's supposedly.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff's interesting. I don't necessarily buy into what everybody else buys into, but I do find it fascinating. All right.
Let's go to Phobos. Why not? All right. That's enough. That's enough aviation news.
I think we need to focus on trying to fix our planet and quit destroying our planet before we go to another planet and try to revitalize Mars. No, let's revitalize Earth first, because
I always tell my kids
for electric vehicle.
Clean your room before we go to the store. Clean your room before we go to this. I always tell them, clean your room. And what are we doing? We're wrecking planet Earth. We got a whole island of plastic bottles in the Pacific Ocean, and we're trying to go to some other planet and wreck that one.
You know,
Honestly,
though, it's good.
if you guys want to go to Mars,
teach our
go.
kids.
In fact,
it's the only thing that we can,
all of you go to Mars.
Yeah. It's the only thing that we can do is teach our kids because the other day before we mowed, I live right beside a highway and it's got a big long kind of hill that goes up to the highway, and my yard is the trash dump. So when people
Yeah.
drive by, they just throw their bottles and beer bottles and liquor
That
bottles
sucks.
and vapes and vape. It all goes in my yard. So before I mow, and usually every day I have to go out there and pick up something that somebody has thrown in my yard. And there's nothing I can do about it. I just got to pick it
No,
up.
yeah, there's
You know,
nothing. Right.
there's nothing. There's nothing I can do about it. Put up a fence? Nope, it don't work. I'd have to put up a 40 or 50-foot fence, and then the freaking
Right.
government would take it down. So anyway, Alex and I were out there picking up a couple of things from the yard the other day along it, and he said, "Man, there's nothing that makes me madder than people that litter. Why do they litter? Why in the crap do you just throw it out the window? That shows no respect for anything." And this is coming from my 15-year-old, and I was like, "Yep, you're exactly right." So the only thing that we can do is just pass on this information. Is like, don't do this. What harm is it to put that and then throw it away in the garbage receptacle or somewhere where it's, where we allocate it to?
Right.
It's,
Well, yeah, I mean, it is exactly an intense disinterest in the well-being of others.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was sitting there thinking that's just narcissism. It's just narcissism.
Yeah. All right.
Vanity.
So, you know what? You're right. You're right. We should be thinking about other people much more, and that's what they're trying to do in New York. I don't know if you know this or not, Deacon, but a lot of people that live in New York City, especially,
they're trying to help immigrants in New York a lot.
They are. They are. And one of the plights of New York City, and thankfully I didn't have to run into it, but apparently there are some more than you would expect of rats in New York City.
Unusual size.
Yeah, yeah. And in New York City, the people in New York City have come up with a plan to try to curb this horrible thing.
We saw that rat when we were in New York. Remember, it was like the size of a freaking house cat because I was like,
Did you?
Floored. I pointed, I was like, oh my God, look at that damn thing. It was like a possum. I swear to God, it looked like a possum.
See, you saw the rat. I don't think I saw the rat. I saw the 75-year-old naked grandma walking down the street, and I was like, "What in the F did I just
tried to point that out to me, and
I was Deke. Look back there, and you were like, "No."
That really shows. I'm telling you, people, that really just shows true friendship. Is that when your friend gets disgusted in some way, that he is so disgusted and has to make you disgusted as well. That is a sign of true friendship.
Deke, she left her shirt off. She's walking down the street.
No, I don't want to look at the naked old lady.
New York lawmakers are proposing rules to humanely drive down the population of rats and other rodents, eyeing contraception and a ban on glue traps as alternatives to poison or a slow, brutal death.
Don't use glue traps.
Yeah, glue traps are gross.
Those are so terrible. I've used those. It's
So New York. So let me get this. Let me make sure I got this right. New York lawmakers are not happy with the population of a particular demographic of vermin or rodent or what have you, and so they're going to use contraception and birth control as a means to, wipe out that population.
That sounds like a good plot to a role-playing game.
Sure. Yeah. Or. I don't know. Sounds also kind of like Planned Parenthood too. Politicians, anyway. So they want to give rats birth control, dude. Birth control for rats. Mm-hmm. That seems like I don't know. There was this book a while back. It was like a vampire book. It was Guillermo del Toro turned it into a TV show. That's how I kind of ran into it, and then I read the book. I don't know if you have to think about what the book was called. I'll look up Guillermo del Toro real quick. But
I like him.
One of the main characters in the book was a rat catcher in New York City. I don't know if that's even a real job, but can you imagine? It must be, right? They have the pest control or whatever. Can you imagine, like, oh, I live in a big city and my job is to catch rats. So
yeah, I'm sure that's a job today.
do you spell gear? I said I'm
Rat catcher, pest control specialization, pest control. Absolutely.
pop quiz. How do you spell Guillermo del Toro?
Guer.
Nope, you're wrong.
Oh, I don't know. You know how I spell anything these days? This is how I spell it. I do this right here. Guillermo del Toro.
That's exactly right.
Guillermo. That's exactly how I spell
The Strain. There's this there's this TV show called The Strain. I don't know why we're on The Strain now. There was this TV show called The Strain. It was back in like 2014 to 2017, ran for 3 seasons on FX. And it was about it starts with this plane that lands on an airfield, but then like nobody opens the doors, lights don't go out, they lost communication, and it's some sort of a bio attack. The officials board the plane, and like blood's drained out of everybody. It's just a wreck in there. Turns out
what was it called?
The Strain.
The Strain.
Yeah. It's only 3 seasons and it's over, Deke. So if you're looking for a cool show to watch,
I'll watch it.
This is it. And it's produced by Guillermo del Toro, so it's got a lot of that Guillermo del Toro stuff.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I like his brain.
It is a radical show, but one of these guys, Kevin Durand, played a rat catcher named Vasily Fett. So this guy's awesome if you ever seen him. So okay. I'm off.
I've been watching a show on Hulu called Shogun. It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's about 1600s Japan. It's really good. All right, I got AI news for you, Gigi.
Please.
This is a big AI story, I think.
Oh, wait. We have a protocol for this.
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI news.
Restream.
There's Jim down there.
Bob booped it wrong. All right.
We talked about no, that's the wrong one. We've talked about ChatGPT AI and putting AI into NPCs. It's a radical show. Did I get that right? Yeah. Check this out.
Yeah, you've been talking about this for a while. Okay, you really want to see AI.
Different. This is something completely different, but I think this is big in a couple of ways. So a group of researchers from China and Singapore recently published this paper where I'm going to try to TLDR this for you because it's kind of a long article, but I read it and it's really good. They basically took ChatGPT 4 and hooked it up to Red Dead Redemption 2 to have the AI use the general computer control this, as a human and play the game to see how well it could get through certain things as a human without the knowledge of any of the inner working stuff. The chat, the AI has the ability to go in and look at the code and then come out and play the game, and learn where everything is. Well, there's a secret level here, and there's a secret here, and there's a secret here written in the code, and I know exactly where it is in the game. They didn't let it do that. Here's the game, play the game, which basically it did pretty good over and over again. And they used Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's such a broad game. Huge environments. There's all kinds of different, there's the main storyline and there's all kinds of other different storyline. It says it offers rich environments and diverse situations for players to navigate. Additionally, UI elements like dialogues, unique icons, in-game prompts, and instructions ensure no background knowledge is taken for granted, which is great for AI learning. Lastly, the researchers say that Red Dead Redemption 2 game control via mouse and keyboard provides a better workout for the general computer control than most other software and computer users might run day to day. It did very well. It's got a little thing here on what it done. Overall, it seems to be moderately successful in Red Dead Redemption 2 gaming. The researchers say they assessed even representative tasks from the main storyline and opened it in missions. So they finished the main storyline and open-ended missions, but there were problems. Some notable exceptions were Protect Dutch, which involves a fast-paced gun battle it couldn't get right, and Search House, which requires the agent to explore a complex indoor environment and open-ended tasks with a long. So there's things like you can talk to an
Right.
NPC and they give you a task, and you might not ever complete. You might complete that. You might get
It
that.
might be
It might be completely at the
20
end of the
hours
game.
later.
Yeah, 100 hours later before you do it, and it was having problems with that.
Yeah.
But it said the ChatGPT 4 is said to struggle with domain-specific concepts such as unique icons within the game, understanding mini-maps, as well as general obstacles within the game environment. They did find that ChatGPT 4 needed not only the game, they learned stuff about what they were creating, but they learned that ChatGPT 4 needed something as well. And I can't seem to find where. Yeah, right here. It's spatial visual recognition capability is insufficient for precise fine-grained control. So that's something that the ChatGPT is like, okay, well, this is a learning. It's learning, JJ.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's also kind of stupid. Like a lot.
Well, I mean, a baby can't walk as soon as it comes. I mean, a baby doesn't know language. It doesn't baby's kind of stupid.
Yeah, babies are stupid. They don't know anything.
Stupid.
Do you know how often they hit themselves? It's a lot. A lot more than I do, anyway.
You have 2 girls, all right?
Yeah,
I had Deacon when Deacon was a baby. Dads of boys, you may have suffered through this. Changing your baby boy, and he pisses on your face. It just comes up and hits you in the face, in the head, in the mouth, and it's great. It's wonderful.
So I see a story here from VentureBeat that says that AI surpasses humans on several fronts. Clearly not playing video games. That's one we're better at it. That's good. But you wouldn't believe it. The costs of running AI are going up like a lot. There's a chart here of
everybody uses it a lot more now, and and it's gotten a lot smarter than it was 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't used OpenAI Art in a while since they changed. It was there. Me and JJ had a glitch on OpenAI Art where it was not subtracting my credits. So I was just
using the hell out of it for a while. Yeah, they figured out their billing system,
and it got fixed. So and I just logged on to OpenAI Art yesterday, and I hadn't logged in like, I don't know, 3 months. I hadn't been on OpenAI Art because I haven't needed to. But wow, it's like going from a 2-year-old to a 7-year-old. It has evolved that much. I can now pull in poses and stuff. I want this, but I want it in this pose. Take a picture of me doing this, and it'll take that and fix it to that pose.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
We're going straight up with AI. If you're not using it, you need to learn how to use it.
Oh, look! I found another interesting story. Now what ChatGPT is.
5 minutes before you got a heart out.
Oh, you're right. Well, maybe I'll save this for tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow. It looks like somebody had the bright idea of putting ChatGPT up against another AI called Gemini. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
We need AI fighting. That's what we need. Hey, what's our music for today? We're doing.
I forgot about the music for today. This week we're doing Fallout music. Remember?
Yeah.
We're doing 50s Fallout music. What were we doing next week? I don't remember what we were doing next week.
I don't remember either.
I don't either. Oh well. All right, it'll come to me.
Was it something to do with the ink? Music? It wasn't the ink spots.
No, that was the song yesterday. If you go over to our Discord server above JJ's head, you will get to our playlist. Our song today is a great one, dude. Civilization, Bongo 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 by the Andrew Sisters and Danny Kaye. It's great. It's freaking fabulous. I listened to it twice this morning. It's wonderful. I love this.
Dude.
Ashley is a huge old movie fan, and
Yeah.
and she's gotten me to watch these, and she loves White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye and the
Yeah.
Andrews Sisters and all that, and we've seen it a million times. So I listened to I like the Andrews Sisters. They have beautiful voices. So this is such a cool song. I wish there was a freaking radio station that played nothing but all these 40s and 50s songs like that and didn't go over like 1959. It'd be great.
Well, you know, on
do a radio
YouTube and
show for
Spotify, you
market
can get
to
like
oldies.
yeah.
And
all
you'd
right.
have to talk like this, like the old DJs did and rhyme. I'd have to script out a bunch of stuff so it rhymed. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So what's your
All
joke
right.
today? Tell your joke.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's go with hey. That's terrible. That's so bad. I'm gonna mark it out before
Oh,
I can tell
good.
you.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
just
do
mark
this
that
one.
one out. Yeah. That was-
What do peanut butter and jelly do around the campfire? Peanut butter and jelly. What do they do around the campfire?
I don't know.
Yeah, they tell toast stories. Yeah, I paid them. It's not your fault.
Have you ever been so broke that you couldn't pay your electric bill? I have.
Probably.
They
Yeah.
were the darkest days of my life. I'm telling you.
Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Today's going to be the best day, except for tomorrow, which is going to be better when you show up here. Bye, everybody. Like, subscribe, share.
Talking heads, lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tune in now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
The Two Dads is a horrible show. Michael and I don't